You're now listening to Podcasts with Curtis Mack.
Hey, everybody, it's Curtis Mack, and thanks for joining me for another edition of Podcast with Curtis Mack. And as always, I have a great guest. And this time around, we have somebody in the cold brew industry, the Nitro Cold Brew industry, and we're going to learn a lot about what that means and what that is. So, without further ado, John, start off by telling everybody your name and what you do.
So my name is John Sifonius, and what I do is I brought a new innovative method in being able to provide cold brew nitro drinks in any environment, in the office environment, in the restaurant environment, at the country club. So we came up with a new way to do it, which is effective now.
And how long have you been doing the Nitro Cold Brew? Because I know this isn't your first time around in the beverage industry.
Yeah, so the cold nitro brew, we developed it late last year in putting together three aspects, the brewing part, the dispensing part, and the nitro part. So that's about a year old, and we launched it September of this year. But I've been in the coffee business since 1999, office coffee services. And this is
Yeah,
an area that is really geared to grow a lot in the next decade or so, and I wanted to get in on it in a special way.
mentioned that you do corporate cafes and you do corporate coffees, and you're seeing shifts in the corporate arena, and with that, there's development and evolvement.
Right. It seems like the hot coffee beverages are not really going to grow in the next couple decades. It seems like the younger generations prefer cold brewed drinks. And if you include nitro in there, it really becomes like a big home run for them, for the younger generations. So it's a growth market and it's something new, innovative, good for you.
This is not iced coffee.
No, no. So iced coffee is brewed hot, and then you just add ice to the coffee. And when you extract hot coffee, you're extracting a lot of things you may not want in there, like acidity, some bitterness. Cold brew, on the other hand, takes 12 to 18 hours to actually brew. It takes that long because cold water, the extraction process is different and much slower. And you're eliminating a lot of the things you may not want in the coffee drink itself. So yeah,
Sure,
iced coffee is really brewed hot. Cold brewed coffee is brewed cold.
sure. And now, why is it important to you that consumers have the information and potentially your product?
I think people should get what they buy. I think that when you go to your local coffee shop, or I've seen in restaurants and bagel shops, I've seen signs up for cold brewed coffee, and you pay a higher price for that. It's more expensive coffee. The process is longer. You use up more product. And what I found, and what's important to me, is that most of the places, when I asked the process of how they produce it or make it, it's
Mhm.
not cold brewed at all. There's no cold brewing system in the back where they're making it like that. What they're basically doing, and this includes high-end cafes I've been in, as I ask questions as a consumer, they take a concentrate, a paste of the coffee, and they mix it with cold water, and they produce a few gallons of cold brew. There are some that actually will brew it cold, but that's very few and far in between that I've come across. In the last, I'd say, 10 months, I did some market research locally.
What was the most memorable moment for you throughout this process of Nitro Cold Brew from start to now?
The most memorable process for me was we were able to find the process to brew the coffee, cold brew in a keg. Um, and one of the requirements from the past is that you have to keep it chilled and cold
Mhm.
brew. That's like the normal process. It's how it's always been done. And we found a method by which we can brew it and keep it at room temperature. Normal cold brew coffee only lasts a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, and it goes bad. It's very fragile. Our method that we discovered and found not only is brewed cold in 12 to 18 hours, but it's room temperature stable. It doesn't go bad at room temperature. And the 2 week period, we extended to 6 plus months. And it's completely organic, completely preservative free. There's nothing in it. It's the process of how we make it. My aha moment was we took that product, the room temperature stable kegs, combined it with an instant chiller faucet, 2 taps, and then the third piece to our puzzle was traditionally to do cold brew nitro, you need a separate nitrogen tank with pressure regulators on there and gauges, and you have to adjust it. If it leaks, it doesn't come out right. We came up with this new product where we combined the new way of getting nitrogen out of the air instead of having it in a tank that you have to buy, install, and set up. So when those three things came together and I poured my coffee out, I was amazed at how good it was and how simple it was as well.
When we discuss marketing with Keys Coffee, there's some misconceptions that consumers may have. It's not manageable, or it's there's so much involved with statistics and pressure, and the shelf life isn't there. But Keys Coffee combats all of those things.
It really does. And one of the biggest things that it combats is waste. Think about it. So we solved all that. There's no more waste in that area anymore whatsoever.
Yeah, more room for profits, which if you're a business owner, that's where you want to be. The business is there to make money. Now, who inspired you to get involved with either the coffee industry or Nitro Cold Brew?
I had a customer in my office coffee environment, which is what I've done for over 24 years, requested like 2 years ago. And they said to me, we really want to use you because we like your service, and we really want cold brew nitro. We want our younger people in the office. They don't want the hot coffee. They want cold brew nitro. So I put her off, my client, the first year. This is 2 years ago. She comes back a year later and says, John, I really have to have this in my office. And the closest place I can find on the East Coast to do it for us is Massachusetts, 3 hours away. And then I realized, wow, like no one is really producing or supplying clients with cold brew nitro coffee in the area. And that really inspired me to fill that need into being able to get this product together and offer it here locally. When I did my research, Curtis, literally there was one place in upstate New York that made one non-organic cold brew that went
Mhm.
bad 2 weeks later, and another place in Massachusetts. And that's all that there is available here at this moment.
Until now.
Until now, correct.
Have you ever worked with any big names in your experience?
Yeah, we set up Fox Sports in Manhattan a few years back. We take care of the New Jersey Devils, the professional hockey team in Newark. Yes, Pfizer. I'm just throwing names out there that most people will
Sure.
recognize. So we work with some big companies, some local companies, small companies, and everyone in between.
Now, have you traveled at all for this position,
I'm
throughout your
about to
days?
travel now because we're setting up 2 stores right now with Keys Coffee in Tampa, Florida. So I might be traveling out there in the next couple weeks. I guess you can categorize us as a wholesaler of the hardware, the dispensers, and the product, the kegs. So we're a wholesaler in that way. But what we're working on right now is I have somebody in West Palm Beach that's joining up plans right now to get a storefront, an actual cafe that specializes in cold brew nitro drinks. Because we have 18 plus. So he wants to do like 12. So that's a brick and mortar store. And the latest thing is in Tampa, we just delivered 2 chillers with 6 kegs, and they're going to go in these high-end specialty ice cream stores where they're going to be dispensing and making ice cream and coffee drinks together.
That's amazing, John. And on top
Yeah.
of that, we're hitting the streets and hitting the ground in New Jersey.
Yes,
We'll be
sir.
doing it. We'll be doing events. We'll be doing door to door. We'll be introducing what we're, offering to individuals and business owners. As you mentioned, it's an affordable setup, and you really can write your own ticket at points with your profits.
You really can, and there's a need there for this because nobody has it out here due to the fact that cold brewed is so fragile. It's like dairy, it's like milk. Whoever wants to do it, they're concerned. Is the nitrogen going to leak? What if it gets warm, my tank? It's going to go bad. So
Mhm.
we eliminated all those hindrances to bring the product out.
And as far as reordering, they can just go right through Keys Coffee. You don't need to go to a separate vendor for nitrogen
No.
or for the tank or for tap repair if needed or anything like that. It's all in one place, which is fantastic.
Yeah, one-stop shop. We have it all. We got the equipment, the tech, and the product.
We say, on our social media posts, we kind of have turnkey setups for everybody.
Yes.
Organic product, healthy product. It's a thing of the now, if you will, and a thing of the future. You kind of mentioned a few short-term goals. Do you have any other short-term goals right now?
My short-term goals right now is it's an information war. People don't know, like places, if they knew they can do this
Mhm.
easily, no waste, they'd be knocking on our door all day long. So my short-term goal is to get the information out there to the different venues that can benefit by selling this product.
There's every different type of person on every different type of platform. So you want to make sure that we're catering to the right people, just like Keys Coffee is with this new product, catering to the right audience. And from what I understand, this can really help let's just say a business owner that's looking to bring some new zing or reach new people. And Nitro Cold Brew is the perfect plug.
It really is. Just think, if it's not out here, it's not available for the most part, you having it in your shop or your event or your golf course or your restaurant sets you apart because your competitor doesn't have the same product. One of the things I was thinking 9 months ago was that this is a warm climate product. I'm an older guy, right? And I'm thinking in the winter, who's going to be drinking it in New Jersey? And to my surprise, I found out through research that the young people that like the cold brewed nitro stuff drink it all year round. I think the advantage in the South would be the weather. You can do outdoor events, 12 months out of the year.
That's correct.
We're in New Jersey, that's been cut out, with the snow and the ice and the temperatures. It's not seasonal like I thought originally. It really is a year-round product.
So long-term goals, John.
I would like to personally move myself down to Florida. My family's down there. My daughters are there. I want to be there. I'm going to have a footprint up here on the East Coast in New Jersey.
Now, what are some of your accomplishments so far?
We're putting our product in 2 different high-end ice cream stores in Tampa. This company is a franchise, and they want me in every one of their stores.
That's
As they
fantastic,
franchise
John.
out, they want Keys Coffee with this product in there. Another accomplishment, and this is all in the last week, it's crazy. One of my friends down that lives near West Palm Beach, he wants to open up an actual brick and mortar cold brew nitro coffee shop.
And now, how can people see or access your materials or your products?
So they can call us up at our local number here in New Jersey, and our secretary can take a message. They can email me, or they can go to the website and fill out the contact form, and we'll get right back to them.
And more or less, you want people to book a demonstration first, or they can book a demo, and you'll come there, set it up, and show them how it works and how easy it is, and basically let them sample the product.
Yeah, so what we did, which is very unique, it's the only one of its kind as far as I know, talking to the people in the industry, we built a portable cold brew nitro bar in our truck, powered by a power supply, and we can go directly anywhere. We can go to an office, we can go to a restaurant, a golf course, and we can actually show them the product right there where they're at.
Excellent, John. And what are your final thoughts?
It's the future. I've always been a techie kind of a guy. I'm an older guy, but I always a techie guy. I always had like something that people ended up buying like later on. And I view this coffee product in the same way. We put together those 3 components, the nitrogen, the chiller, and the kegs
Yes.
into one turnkey unit. And I want to get this product out there to people because they can't believe that we can do it without a refrigerator, without the tanks. And I just want to get it out there to people.
This could be, applied anywhere, any type of organization, any venue, and it brings everybody to the next level. It modernizes whatever cafe that you're in. It's got a buzzword, nitro, Nitro Cold Brew. Oh, what are you drinking? Oh, just a Nitro Cold Brew. What's that? So
Yeah,
it sparks conversation. It really does. I'm glad we started working together, and I look forward to doing more business.
same here. Looking forward to working with you, Curtis.
Thanks everybody for listening. And if you want to contact John, visit keyskoffee.com or visit him on social media, Keys Koffee NJ. You could also find me on all platforms, Curtis Mack, Podcast with Curtis Mack, or CM Productions. And look out for social media content and, the progress for Keys Koffee along the way, because we'll be doing a lot of big things.